Hey guys, so today I wanted to make a video about the fantasy books/series that I want to start in 2017. Now, a lot of these are really large series, so keep in mind that I do not necessarily plan on finishing these in 2017, I just want to start some of these series in 2017. I was actually inspired to make this video after watching a video by Sam's Nonsense, basically around the same theme. I'll leave a link to her video down below. She's one of my favorite booktubers, so I definitely recommend checking her channel out. So to start off, I've already started the Kingkiller Chronicles, the first book being The Name of the Wind, but I have not yet read The Wise Men's Fear by Patrick Rothfuss, which is the second book in the series, and I've been dying to read this book. I don't know why it's taking me so long to get to it. I've just been putting other books ahead of it, and I don't know why, because I know I'm gonna love this book. If you don't know by now, The Name of the Wind is one of my all-time favorite books, so I need to read the second one really soon. Next up is the Lightbringer series by Brent Weeks. I own the first book, The Black Prism, and I also own the second book, The Blinding Knife, and I'm just dying to read these books. Brent Weeks is an author that I've liked for a long time now. I read the Night Angel trilogy by him, and it is probably one of my favorite assassin-themed fantasy books of all time. It's really great, so if this is your type of thing, then I recommend reading this series. Now, it's actually kind of funny, because Brent Weeks has basically stated that he's kind of embarrassed of the Night Angel trilogy just because he feels like he's grown as an author a lot more and his writing has improved, so that's why I really want to read the Lightbringer trilogy, because apparently his writing is even better. I've heard nothing but good things about this series. Now, the only thing I really know about this series is that there's characters that can wield the power of, like, colors, so there's 7 colors in total, and I think there's one person called the Prism who has all of those colors that he can control. Like I said, I hardly know anything about the concept, but it sounds interesting to me. Next is The Lies of Locke, Lamora by Scott Lynch. This is a book that I should have read a long time ago. I don't know why I haven't read it yet. I've been recommended this book lots of times to people who know, like, what I like to read, and I think I read like 2 or 3 chapters of this in the bookstore, and it completely seems like a book that I'm going to love, so I know I should get to this one soon as well. It's probably the next big fantasy series on my list after reading The Wise Men's Fear. Next, I want to start the Mistborn series by Brandon Sanderson. When I first started BookTube, I went out and bought like a ton of Brandon Sanderson's books because I know he's probably going to be one of my favorite authors, but once again, I haven't gotten around to reading them. I noticed lately that I've kind of been reading books that people are recommending to me, which is good, and I'm glad that I'm kind of branching out, but I haven't been reading what I really love to read, which is like epic fantasy books. That's kind of the reason why I'm making this video, because I want to read the books that I'm talking about right now. But yeah, Mistborn. Basically, it's a heist novel about people that can ingest metals and gain magical powers. Next up, I want to finish the Throne of Glass series by Sarah J. Maas. I have read the first and second book like a long time ago. Then I actually started rereading it just because I kind of forgot what happened, and I read the prequel collection as well. So I just have to read the second one again, and then I'm just going to try and read through this series so that I don't leave it hanging for a long time like I did before. I have a very strong love-hate relationship with the Throne of Glass books. I might keep that for another video. Next, I want to read The Last Wish by Andrzej Sapkowski. You might be familiar with the Witcher games. Those are some of my favorite games, and I know that I'm definitely going to like the books as well, so I'm gonna have to read these ones soon. I believe The Last Wish is actually a collection of short stories about Geralt. I'm not entirely sure though, so don't quote me on that. Next, I want to read The Queen of the Tearling by Erika Johansen. I'm sure you have heard a lot about this book. It's been all over BookTube, so I'm not going to go into the synopsis or anything. I will leave a link to all of these books down below if you want to read the synopsis on them. And then next, I just want to continue reading the Legend of Drizzt books by R.A. Salvatore. This is just a random one I picked up, but I've read up to, I think, book 8. This is a very large series, so I've read up to book 8, and then I've been rereading them because I read them like way back in high school. So in rereading them, I'm up to book 4 now, and I want to try to get to book 8 if I can. I know that might be impossible because I have a lot of books I want to read. But these books go by really fast. Like, they seem thick. I know a lot of people like complain that these books seem very long and that they're too intimidated to start the series, but really when you start reading, to me it feels like it just flies by really fast. I swear R.A. Salvatore puts out like 5 books a year. I am constantly seeing like new releases in the Legend of Drizzt series, and I'm still just trying to get caught up. I think he's been writing them since like the 80s now. And the Drow Elf protagonist is still being written in books today, so that's pretty impressive, I have to say. I highly recommend this series. I know it's kind of intimidating since it's such a long series and it might be kind of confusing on where to start, but if you are confused, feel free to just message me because I'll tell you, I'll set you straight on the path for The Legend of Drizzt. I also really want to read something by Robin Hobb. I haven't read any Robin Hobb books, and I think I want to start with the Farseer trilogy, but I definitely want to do that this year. And then finally, this might be getting a little bit ambitious, but if I end up reading all of those series that I just mentioned, then I want to read The Wheel of Time by Robert Jordan. I feel bad that I haven't read this series yet just because I love fantasy and I have heard so much about the Wheel of Time series. I definitely do want to get to it sometime though. But I do know these books will probably take quite a while to read because they are very descriptive. So let me know your opinion on some of the fantasy books I mentioned. Maybe recommend me some more, even though I kind of have a heavy load right now. I don't know if I'm going to be able to read all of these, but feel free to recommend me some more. I will definitely add them to my wish list if I'm interested. And yeah, so the next video I want to make, I think I'm going to be doing the sci-fi books I want to read in 2017, so definitely keep an eye out for that. Now, if you like this video, please like and subscribe, and I will see you guys next time.